Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, worldwide Divi fam. I am on my phone right now because my internet doesn't work. Despite my best efforts, I have had to log on to StreamYard from my LTE-enabled mobile device. But nothing stops the Divi train, and that's kind of the whole mantra of today's show. Nothing stops the Divi train. We do have a lot to get into. As you guys know, this is a Divi update, but we do have some incredible things to touch on as well. I have an amazing special guest for you guys today, just like I did last week. I think you guys are going to enjoy the guest that I bring on. We also have my good friend and business partner, Jeff McCabe, coming on for the 5 After 5. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into the numbers. So, very, very encouraging numbers as far as the mobile wallet signups are concerned. Go give that a check out. 13,365 individual people have signed up. Well, probably there's a couple duplicates on there, but let's just call it 13,685. I'm really excited about this number because it continues to grow every single week. And when I get to the part of the Live at 5 that discusses the mobile wallet, you guys will be really excited. I hope as excited as I am about the progress. It has really just taken flight recently, and there is a lot to touch on there. Let's look at Masternodes. Now, you're going to notice something here. The all-time high has not changed this week, and I'm going to talk about why. First of all, there was, during a routine update to the Masternodes, so let me just back up. Basically, once every so often, we go through and remove all of the old nodes, all of the old unused servers that we have on our various platforms. This is a very routine thing. Unfortunately, a change to the DigitalOcean API caused a lot of the nodes to actually be cleaned up that were active still. We've sent out an email. If you haven't checked your email or you haven't gotten an email, double check your spam. Make sure that you have gotten all of the instructions to make sure your nodes go back up. Our support staff is online 24/7, and they've been working really hard to make sure that those numbers do come back. And that is the reasoning for, if you look at this next chart, the numbers have, of course, gone down. Now, all these people will come back online. As I said, we're working day and night to make sure that this is fixed. And, of course, implementing some structure to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So moving forward to the crypto market, I should say, and you guys should know this already, I'm not a financial advisor. When I talk about the crypto market, it's purely for informational purposes and for my own interest and hopefully yours as well. Now, this is really small on my phone screen, but it looks like we're at 11,000. We finally broke 11,000 Bitcoin, finally getting a nice green day. Same with Ethereum. XRP, pretty much all the top coins are seeing green today. That's very encouraging coming out of the week. So, pretty good market update today. It is 5 after 5, so I guess that means I get to talk to one of my best friends in the world, Jeff McCabe.
Hi, everybody. I'm here in Costa Rica. I think the big news I can tell everybody is that I have coronavirus. I don't know if Nick was wondering whether I would tell everybody, but everybody that's been asking, I've been telling them. It's a very light case. Don't worry, the CEO is not dying, but it does make me kind of spaced out and easy to forget things. So if I say anything stupid, it's not me. It's just the virus talking. So here I'm in Costa Rica. I've been locked in a small Airbnb for 2 weeks. Haven't had any human contact, and it's been pretty boring. So, but I've just been able to get as much work done as I can. And here I am. So I want to update you on a few things. First is about Lightning Works. As you know, we've started a digital media company based on blockchain with the focus on comic books. And that's been moving along very well. We have both the viewer app and now the creator app started. What the creator app allows people to do is to create digital blockchain-based comic books rapidly. So it doesn't have to be done with other software, Adobe type products, which aren't specialized to this. With this app, people will be able to create comic books very quickly and animate them and launch them onto the blockchain with a variety of features that we'll have. It's pretty cool to see it. I was going to show it, but the people that made the demo used a page from Marvel Comics, and I thought, it's probably a copyright violation or something to show that. So I think next week we'll be able to show it with one of our own comics. So we'll be able to see what it looks like. It's just fun to see it. It's not going to be the final design. The viewer app, we're working on our first comic book demo. So I'm not sure whether we'll show people the whole thing because we actually want to launch it on the blockchain. One of our goals is to be the first company in the world to launch a blockchain-based comic book. So we want to trying to rush that as quickly as you can, so at least we can say that we're the first to do it. The stories we're writing are really good. We've hired a full-time writer now named Ace Harmon. He's from the UK and he's living in Vancouver, Canada, and he's fantastic. He's both a writer and an artist. We have people from Marvel and DC that are working on this, and a bunch of really amazing people that are sort of coming on board, that are watching what we're doing. Everyone's really excited about it, and Divi will be the coin, the main coin for this project. One of the other projects related to Lightning Works is called Siege Worlds. Siege Worlds is a video game we're building, and we were hoping to have that ready to show you in a week or so, but now we're scheduling that for the end of the month. These things are always late, so we'll see what really happens. But there should be something that all of you will be able to download and play around with, and then we'll be adding Divi to it, so you can actually plug in some Divi and then fight it out for that Divi. It'll just be something for fun. It's not going to be the final game. We're not going to give away the secrets or really let you into the world that we're building. But I think you've seen some of the parts of it, and it's really exciting to be designing a video game. I think almost anybody that's a geek at one point in their life decided they're going to be a video game designer. And I know I did when I first got on the computer and played a game. I wanted to make them. That was back in the early 80s, right? So for me, it's kind of a dream come true to be working on this, and we have a great team. We actually just hired another full-time coder who was one of the students of Jake, who is leading Games Interactive in the UK. The other thing, speaking of the UK, I'm planning on going there to London and also to Puerto Rico, maybe to New York over the next couple of months. I'm going to be doing some traveling to talk about Divi, meet investors, and meet some of the team members like Jake and the new guy who I've never actually met in person. So we'll see how that goes. I think the most exciting thing I want to talk about is what we call the bond. And this is something that is, it's really cool. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever heard of in crypto, especially for Divi. And maybe I shouldn't talk about it because we don't know if it's going to happen for sure, but there's only a few people watching this, and it's pretty exciting. And I'm hoping that it'll bring in some people that will actually help the project. So basically what this is we have some people that work in Wall Street that love Divi and came up with this idea to create what they call a bond. It's really a sort of a company that you buy shares of. And what it does is it buys 80% US Treasury bonds and 20% Divi. And what that allows for people to do that want to invest in crypto, but not have a lot of downside risk of it dropping, is you can buy shares in this, and instead of getting the say 1% you might get from treasury bonds, we'd be able to pay say 4%. So they'd be able to quadruple their earnings because 20% of it is Divi. And we've really looked at the market at all the other coins, and there's no coin that's better for this in the whole spectrum than Divi is, and so that's why they're interested in it. And what this could mean if it works is that millions and millions of dollars of Divi will be up for years doing this. So it's, for us, we're all trying to find ways to create scarcity. And when we heard about this project, we've been trying to do everything we can to facilitate it happening. And there's some really interesting people behind this. We're hoping it's going to happen. So it's one of these things that the Divi Foundation will be funding it to make it happen. If they end up doing it, it's still, going through the lawyers and all this, but we are moving forward with it and doing preliminary investment to try to make this happen. So we'll update you on that. The reason I want to mention all this is that if you are an accredited investor, if you don't know what that is, you probably are not one. But if you are an accredited investor or not in the United States, you could possibly participate in this. So please contact us, and we would put you in touch with the people who are doing this. Also, if there's anybody that's working in personal finance that sells these type of products, let us know, and we can put you again in touch with the people that are putting the bond together. That's all I have for today.
Amazing. The bond thing is one of the coolest things I've ever heard, especially as it pertains to Divi, because it really brings that sort of institutional level of interaction and a huge potential scarcity to the coin, while actually creating a really significant use case, which is really important. That it's not just flash in the pan, or a lot of coins or projects will do random stuff to like destroy a bunch of coins or whatever, but I find those things don't even really work most of the time, and because it's not really creating anything, and this does, and that's what's really cool to me about it. So thank you so much, obviously, for coming on, Jeff McCabe. I hope to see you again next week. We're all hoping that you get better very, very soon. You're in our thoughts and prayers. So get well soon.
Yeah,
I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Yeah, I feel better I'm feeling better every day right now. So I'll be out of this place in a few days, I think.
Fantastic. Well, that's everything for the Live at 5. Some really cool updates there. There's always so much going on at Divi. It's so hard to keep up with everything, but somehow we do it because the Divi train just keeps rolling, just like the Live at 5 podcast video. That's why we're going to roll right into Projects and Ventures. So this week has been pretty eventful. As you guys know, as I said in the beginning of this video, we've had some cleanup around the Mochi system still going on. Our support team is just an absolutely fantastic powerhouse of effort. So if you guys have any issues, obviously reach out to them on Telegram at Divi Support. With that said, there is a brand new desktop wallet version that came out today. You can find the downloads on our website or on our official GitHub. Always look for the checkmark in the organization's username. But if you are already running a desktop wallet, you should just get a simple auto update. Make sure that you download that. Some awesome features are included. 2FA is back, as well as some improvements to the UX and the UI. So definitely get on that as soon as you possibly can. As far as the mobile wallet is concerned, everything is still on track for our release 1 beta in November. This week, we got Bitcoin fully implemented into the wallet, and that will go into testing at the end of next week with the beta bashers. Of course, we're testing it internally now. Mobile masternodes are also essentially finished. Most of the APIs around identity management, as far as it's connected to your address, your public address, and all of those things, settings. I mean, pretty much almost everything is done as far as the fundamental basics of the minimum viable product. I'm really excited because once we get this through the door and we're actually out with the release 1 beta, and maybe a little bit further past that, where more people are actually using it in the marketplace, we can actually start working on those fiat features like the exchange, like the IBAN, like the fiat on-ramp. All of those amazing features will start to roll out very quickly. We just have to get this fundamental baseline out and in your hands first. So I'm really, really excited right now. It's probably the most encouraging thing. You guys can probably tell I'm really tired right now, just because it's been a long week. Running a crypto project takes some thick skin for more reasons than one. Technical issues go wrong, you have to deal with them. There's also all the business development stuff that we're working toward, finance meetings. There's just a million things to do. Plus the market in general is just another challenge. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it is a challenging lifestyle, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But that's why I look like crap today. So let's move on. I have an amazing special guest for you guys. His name you may recognize is Bitcoin Ben. Ben, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Nick? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. You're joining me live from the Divi RV, aren't you, right now?
Yes. It's the rolling Divi castle. It's I'm actually in Las Vegas, and I'm going around to every casino, and I am going to convince them all that they should all run their economic systems and their currency systems on the Divi Masternode infrastructure. Should have that wrapped up in about one day. Uh, no, it's great. Last weekend was awesome in California. Thank you for joining us, by the way. And it's this tour, more and more people are getting excited, not just about crypto in general, but the more they learn about the Divi project, hell, the more I learn about the Divi project, like learning about the 80-20 bond, that's incredible. What a great use case.
Yeah.
And it's things like that, ideas like that, that make this project so unique. It 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 isn't your average crypto. And the reason why is because it isn't your average crypto community. The group that leads it, you and Jeff and everyone else, you guys have the energy, the drive, and the amazing ability to look out and put the project into many different areas where you're doing video games, you're doing finance, you're doing emerging markets, you're actually in the future. You know, I I don't know what all I can say, so I'm gonna. It's a lot of other things that are coming up, and it's it's the fact that you lead, but yet you let your community actually help to not only lead but kind of guide the areas you guys enter into. And that is a genius of a business model, because then you already know there's interest there. The worst thing that a company or a project really can do is put their little toe into an area that they don't know is any interest.
Right.
You listen to the community. You listen to the people on Telegram. By the way, heads up on everybody, all of the Divi team on Telegram. I get nothing but raving freaking compliments on anybody who ever deals with them. But yet, you you guys listen to the community, and then you include that with your future plans. And that's what makes you guys completely different. Because other projects, not to name any names, um, they they are not linked with their community. They have a community, but it isn't a community where the leadership is listening to the lowest hodler. Where you guys, if you hold one actual Divi, if you hold one, call me. I'll send you a few more. But if you hold a small amount, your voice is just as loud as one of the whales, because your opinion matters in this community. And that gains value. That leads the community members with the passion of their participation. And the most you want as a project is the active participation of your community. And I want to applaud you and Jeff on leading that atmosphere.
I can't thank you enough for saying that. And that honestly, that goes really well with the theme of what we've been talking about throughout this episode, which is the Divi train keeps rolling. Nothing has been able to stop us. All the adversity that we've come against, all the challenges with everything that we've faced over the past 3 years, nothing's slowed us down. And the reason is, you just said it. It's that community that's always been behind us. And it doesn't matter if you're holding 10 million Divi or 10 Divi, we're all trying to build for the same reason, right? So I appreciate that. Now, I had a great time down there or up there in Orange last weekend at that Tilted Kilt. We talked about so many amazing different topics, but something happened right after the show. Your YouTube got taken down. Now, what's going on with that? Have you heard from them at all, or what's going on right now?
YouTube is not a friendly organization to everybody. And right now they are they're choosing an agenda over equality. And that's an issue which leads right back to the leadership of YouTube. And I'm not worried about it. I don't worry about whatever I can't really control. And I definitely cannot control YouTube. But
Yeah.
luckily for me, I was smart enough to I have a very active community on Twitter and on Facebook, on Amazon, on Roku. I get thousands of views a day and growing every day, in fact, off of platforms. And YouTube they're not making the right choice when it comes to the community.
Right. I mean, we talked about on Saturday, differing opinions shouldn't define policy. We should all be able to. It's a First Amendment, right? I mean, you have freedom of speech, right? Why is it the first thing that we're allowed to have on the document, right? So, what can we do? Can we help you at all? Like, can our community get behind you? Go on Twitter and at YouTube, or is there any? I know we can't control them, but is there anything we can do to help?
Nope.
No. It's just
let them
hope and pray.
Let their own throat. It's the more they try to control, the more that cryptos and the decentralization of the media happens quicker.
Yeah.
So although for me it's a bad thing for the decentralization of the media and of the world, it's actually a good thing, because it shows if you'll actually kick off a ex-truck driver who loves freedom and cries at the drop of the hat, you're basically pure evil.
It is absurd, man. It is. But I'm glad that you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. You do have several other platforms where you can reach your community. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that happened though. It does suck, and you're not the only one that it's happened to. I mean, we saw a couple months ago that huge eradication of all crypto, influencers on YouTube. It was crazy, and some algorithm or whatever was the reason they
Mm-hmm.
gave. It's pretty obvious what's actually happening, but anyway, good luck to you on that. Where are you going next? What's the next stop?
Tomorrow, I'll actually be here in Vegas, right across the road here, at the greatest of all time sports bar, which you guys held an event at last World CryptoCon, I think.
That's right.
And I will be there tomorrow, along with Litecoin Lisa's going to be there, and and a few other influencers who have shows. So we'll have
Nice.
some super special guests. And I hope if you're near Vegas or if you live in New York, fly down to Vegas. I mean, what's it like $57? And next weekend, I'm actually in Texas. Weekend after that, I'm in Florida. Weekend after that, I'm in New Jersey. And I end the tour in St. Louis, Missouri at my office. And
That is, you're reprising
oh,
your role as a driver, aren't you? Are you enjoying
oh,
that?
absolutely. Yeah. It's so much fun though, because I got so many people asking me questions about Divi and you know, and what is the Bitcoin and all this other stuff, random people.
Yeah.
And and I just love getting out into the community, because if you're going to change the world, you got to get out there in it. Having a show on YouTube is great. Having a show on Amazon Prime is great. Roku, great. But that's me looking at a screen. You know, that's, although I have a great relationship with people that watch my show, I want more of a relationship with them. I want to know their name. They know who I am, but I don't know who they are. And that's what I'm trying to change. I want to get out and hang with my people, you know. Uh, and it's so exciting. I love it. I love it. And thank you guys for sponsoring the actual tour, wrapping the RV. It just I turned out amazing. And shout out to your whole marketing team. They are all pros. They did such a wonderful job with everything they helped with and everything they led. They actually came up with the wrap and the design and just ran with it. And that gives me even more excitement and even more confidence in you and Jeff, because you're hiring these knockout people who are just getting things done. And that that's where most projects lack. That's where they rest on they rest once they've, because I have to tell you, Divi's pretty popular now, and uh, the word's really getting out, and a lot of projects would kind of lean back and kind of enjoy the spotlight a little bit. Well, as you saw with Jeff, he can't even get out of a room. He's trapped in a damn room. I
Yeah.
see. I think that Nick actually gave him COVID just to lock him in the room and get some work done.
It's not
Yeah,
true. It's not true.
no, it's it's an amazing tour, and thank you guys. I had a guy reach out yesterday or the day before, and he's like, when are you guys like gonna come over here to Australia or the UK or something? And I did put hashtag, uh, the uh, Divi World Tour 2021. You know,
That's awesome.
it because I only see you guys growing more and more. You're making great choices. You're putting out great products, and and any little glitch, any issue that you guys have, there's no hesitation. You just put your nose right to the grindstone, and you work on fixing it. That's a company or a project that you want to get behind, because every project has problems. 1,000 times he tried making a light bulb, and he made one work.
Right. It's true.
And
It's a good point.
it isn't if you fail, it's how you fail. If you fail and then you get right back in, you didn't fail because you didn't quit. You only fail when you quit. And I know you guys and your team, there is no quit in the word Divi.
That's for damn sure. And we definitely, like we said, the Divi train doesn't stop. And hopefully on the world tour, maybe we'll wrap a jet. We got to get a little bit more growth before we can do that. But let's get you on the Divi private plane. Right?
How about no, a big old balloon. We'll just start with a balloon.
Around the world in 80 days, right?
Well, if I'm on it, it might take a little bit more than 80 days. I'm a little on the chubby side.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's funny, man. Well, hey, Ben, I really appreciate you taking some time out of your tour and out of your day to come and chat with me on the Divi Live at 5. Good luck on the rest of the tour, man. I will 100% be talking to you before it ends. But for now, I'm going to let you go. And obviously, everyone watching, you know where to find Bitcoin Ben online. Make sure it's the real one. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. All right, man?
all right. Have a great night, Nick.
You too, man. Thanks again. Well, I love talking to Ben. He's become honestly one of my best friends over the past couple of years. I met him in Vegas at World CryptoCon a few years ago, and we just drank some beers together, got to know each other. But he didn't jump right into Divi. He needed to see some progress before it all started. And once we were able to prove that progress to him, he was all about it. And of course, he's become one of our greatest influencers and one of the best parts of our project, frankly. And yeah, I'm just really glad that we've been able to build that relationship, and I've been able to build the personal relationship I have with him over the past couple of years. Now, obviously, we are a little bit over time. It's about 35 minutes in, so I will take a couple of questions, but I'm only going to take like one or two, if there are any, and then I'm going to call it, just because I know some people, it's super late for you guys, and I always appreciate, to the greatest degree, you staying up and watching this Live at 5 broadcast. So first, do we have any questions today? What's up, guys? Frisco, what's going on, buddy?
Sorry, I was fixing my hair.
Okay, here I got to scroll down a little bit. Well, since Jeff, you're here, you can answer this one. I'd like to know how Redivi helps the Divi bond, so that we know how far ahead of the curve we are versus other coins. You want to answer that?
I don't think Redivi is involved in the bond anyway. I mean, our partners at Redivi do know a lot of very wealthy investors and people in banking throughout Central America and are very well connected. So they may be able to help from that perspective. You have to realize with this kind of thing, there's investors all over the world that could be interested in this because they like to buy treasuries, but this is a way to basically quadruple their rate of return. So yeah, we'll see if it happens, but I think it's a really exciting idea.
Cool. Thanks, Mark, for that question. Anything else, guys? Take like one more, if there is one. If not, I can let everyone go enjoy their Friday nights. It is yeah. So as I addressed in the beginning and toward the middle of the broadcast here, well, first of all, I should say the company doesn't rely on the Mochi for revenue, so that's not really a necessity, but it is important to us that the Mochi system is up and running to support the network and for individuals who are running Mochis to actually earn the reward that they have invested for. So yeah, I mean, obviously we're working really hard to get everything back online. We will offer a free month of hosting for everyone, so that for everyone affected, of course, you know, in good faith. So yeah. I
think actually he may be wondering how it is that the blockchain keeps running, and the answer to that is that the staking nodes are the ones actually producing the blocks. The masternodes are just doing validation. So even though 2/3 of the masternodes are down, the stakers just keep producing the blocks. So that's how that happens. I also wanted to mention that I want to mention also these kind of things, when they happen, are actually a blessing in disguise, because what they do is they allow our team to sort of train in fixing problems, diagnosing problems. Sometimes new tools, new code gets invented to fix things. And it's really important that a blockchain team is ready for different types of emergencies and problems. As we grow, we'll probably get under attack from different types of attacks on the blockchain. And so, these kind of things make our whole team a lot stronger. And it's actually important that you face these kind of challenges when you're running a blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, all companies face this. If you're a tech company, you face it at some point. Cloudflare just went down a couple months ago, and the entire internet went offline. So it's not that uncommon for things to go wrong, and that's why we're trying to build decentralized software, right? So the next question, and this. That's right. So this will be the last question I take. Thanks for the updates. So it's understood that a beta of the mobile wallet is coming out in November. Just curious as to if it's expected for full public release before 2021. I and the team aim for a release on the App Store before the holidays are over, of course, before the new year. It all depends how the first round of testing goes. If testing looks good and it's working, and we can continue to scale up that testing to see it under load and to see what edge cases, especially on Android, persist, then we'll release it. But we're not going to release it until it's 100% ready. So, but yeah, that's the aim for sure. All right, I'll take one more. Is the Divi wallet ever going to get to a level where I can swap between Divi and Canadian, I think that's Canadian dollars, or Divi USD, and send PayPal? Well, PayPal is its own ecosystem. That said, we'll enable you to swap to your local currency and transfer to your bank, or to send to another person's wallet or whatever. Yeah, but I mean.
We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that because there are banks in Costa Rica that allow you to connect with PayPal. So if they can do it, then Divi will be able to do it. So basically the way it would work is we'd build a process that allows you to take your Divi and click a button and just upload to PayPal. So we would connect all the dots and make it easy.
Cool. This one's for you, Ben.
We miss you on YouTube, Ben. I miss you too. No, I have been following you on Patreon and Vimeo that have not mastered the integrals of the chat on those platforms. I would also suggest you check out Brighton. Is that a platform? I I think it is. Jerry, you and your lovely wife, I miss you guys to check me out on Twitter and Facebook, and like you said, also on the actual Patreon channel. Thanks for watching, Jerry.
Fantastic. Well, that was an incredible Live at 5. I'm really excited to have Ben and Jeff here to answer these questions with me. And I hope to have you both back on very soon. I think that's probably all the time we have for today's update. You guys know where to find us online. It's at Divi Project across the board, except YouTube. That's the Divi Project for some reason. But you can always find us on Telegram as well. If you have questions, that's at Divi Project. And I and the whole team are always there to answer those questions for you. I think that's about wrapping it up for this episode. So for now, I'm out of here. I will see you guys next time.